Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm heading up to the river again this weekend for some gold prospecting, so I thought I'd show you my little backpack rig that I set up, just to get an idea of, this is like more than you need, but it gets you decent production, and I'll talk a little bit more about production, what I mean by that, when I start laying some stuff out. So, I'm holding this up so I don't forget to show you. First aid kit. Always have a first aid kit, whatever you do. I have it set up on this hiker cargo rig. It's got a platform down here, backpack metal frame. You can hang all kinds of stuff on it. I actually usually have more bungee cords on here, but I can't find them all. And I'm getting ready tomorrow, but I'm not going to have any time to make this video, so we're doing it today. Anyway, let's take this off here. Okay. This is just a series of pans. It's one large 14-inch pan, a production pan, and a 1/4-inch screen or classifier. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. In the sluice box, how do I want to do this? So, there we go. Let's do it this way. The area where I go has a lot of big rocks, and I like to pry them out of the way for a little while, dig the what's underneath, and flip the rock back over. I don't like to dam up the river because the park rangers or forestry folks get really pissed off, and I don't. We're having a hard enough time in California as it is. There's been a lot of push of the environmentalists to shut down all kinds of mining in California, particularly in the public areas, which, of course, right? Small shovel. Looks like it's getting rusted. That's not good. Cheap. So this is a cheap shovel from Home Depot. Really, really cheap. I think it was less than 20 bucks. And that's what you get. If you buy cheap, you get cheap. Here is a pick. Kind of not a heavy-duty pick, just a soft pick. This has been really helpful for getting some of that hard pack out. You get up underneath the stratified layers of sediment, and you get to the hard pack dark layer. That's very helpful. Then you have my Angus Mcerf Explorer Sluice. I'm going to do a video review on this pretty soon. I want to get some more time on the stream with it, but so far this drop riffle action, this dual setup drop riffle action has been really, really helpful. I am liking it. And then there's a bucket. Now there's actually going to be another bucket in here, and I spray paint one of them a certain color so that when I'm with other people, they know that they're not supposed to touch the painted bucket, because that's where all the concentrates from the sluice go. I take the sluice, put it in the bucket, wash it down, put all the concentrates in it, and that's how we basically, watch out, keep all the good stuff. Now, now I'll go back to talk about the pans for a second. Realistically, if you're going up to the river, all you need is a pan, a pick, maybe, depending on the material you're going to be going into, and a shovel. Tactical kit. The shovel would be helpful, but not needed. The pan really is how you would pick the gold out. You could classify it down to a 1/4-inch if you'd like. You can go ahead and put dirt on the top here, pan it, put it under water, shake it a lot, get all the material down here. And you might be asking yourself, well, a 1/4-inch, 1/4-inch classifier, you're going to lose some of those big nuggets. Possibly, if that area you are in, if you're in an area that's small nuggets, you're not going to lose many nuggets because you're not going to come upon many nuggets. You're going to be pulling out flake gold, flour gold, small stuff that will pass through this easily. But if you're concerned, no problem. Take a little bit more time and check what's in here. Check what's in here. Knock it out, fan it out, check it out. If you are finding nuggets that won't go through 1/4-inch, it'll kick off a metal detector. A metal detector like the Tesoro Compadre that I reviewed a while ago. I'll put the link up here. You can go check that out. That thing's $100. You can throw that in here somewhere. In fact, I might do that. I haven't decided yet. Just slide it in right here on the side, bungee cord it on, you're good to go. It weighs nothing, so it's not a big deal. Now, going back to what you need. Shovel, pick maybe is whatever. I'd say shovel and a pan is the least you need. You want to kick it up, get the classifier. It'll save you time. You don't have to worry about picking out rocks. Again, time savings is production. The more amount of dirt you can process through something, the more gold you're going to find. Now, do you need the production pan, or not the production pan, the cleaning pan? This is for when you have concentrates that have been processed through the sluice box. So let's take that next step. So let's say you've got your pan, you got your classifier, and you're having a good time, but you want to move more material. Or you found an area where you've been digging and it's consistently finding you small amounts of gold, and you want to just pick your game up. Well, the way you pick your game up is you buy a bucket. 2 buckets is best. A classifier, a pan, shovel, and a sluice box of some kind. Now you can pick whatever sluice box you want. I like the drop ripple design because I think it's a little bit more futuristic. It's the high-tech approach to an old design. The sluice box of the past were, and still current, use what's called a Hungarian riffle, and they use miner's moss. Now that traps a lot of small stuff and it works exactly as you expect it to work. But this drop riffle design does not utilize miner's moss. It doesn't use a Hungarian riffle. And the idea with a Hungarian riffle, the water's going to go down your sluice box, go up a riffle, over the top, go over and over a riffle and over the top. And you're creating a low pressure area behind the Hungarian riffle. Now there's nothing wrong with that. It works just fine. But the drop riffle design is everything's flat and then it drops out. And flat and drops out, and flat and drops out. And it's just, they call it more efficient. I don't know if that's true. I haven't really done studies on it, but I like the cleanup factor on these. So you put them in the river, get your water working over it, and then at that point you kind of leave it alone. You step away. Once you got a good angle for your sluice box, you'll leave it alone for pretty much the whole day until you start seeing a lot of black sand pile up. So what you do, you get your classifier out. Let me remove some stuff over here, move some stuff around. Let me get my bucket too. Backpack down. Okay, so you got your bucket. Take your classifier. It's made to fit in these 5-gallon buckets, and you start shoveling material in. Okay, stuff, shovel, shovel, shovel. At this point, I take the other bucket, fill this bucket with water, fill it up to the top of the classifier, and start turning the classifier. The water, you need to do, for small gold, it's a really good idea to run water over your material because that'll separate any connected gold pieces that you might have on the rocks. So start shaking, it separates, it classifies the material down. At this point you can take this, boom, dump it out. Okay, put it back on, shovel in more till it's full, more water, shake, 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 until you repeat basically. You repeat until you got this full or as full as you're going to carry to your sluice box, however far away you set it up. At that point, if your sluice box is correctly set up, which I believe I talked about it briefly, your water is going to flow this way. And for something like the Angus Mcerf, these first 3 riffles are going to be where your gold most of the time gets trapped. It's heavy, it sinks into these drop riffle low pressure areas. You take a trowel of some kind, or your hands if the water's not too cold. The water was cold and I was using my hands last week. Start taking your classified material and dumping it slowly onto this area. Okay, water's gonna pull it, and it's gonna get pulled through. Low pressure area is gonna suck the gold down, and the gold's gonna stay there. Now you keep running your classified material through until your bucket's done. Then you go get more, and you come back and fill it up. Now at some point you're gonna get a lot of black sand in these first 2 riffles. When that happens, the low pressure area of the water, when a piece of gold comes over, so you expect a drop riffle is going to go bloop and drop down, and bloop and drop down, like that. Well, if the black sand fills up the drop riffle, now you've just got a straight shot, basically, because the black sand has almost an equal weighting to the gold. The gold can't sink its way down with the low pressure, turn over the light stuff, and then kick out the light stuff, because black sand's heavy. So, at that point, take your sluice, if this is the kind of sluice you have again, put it into the bucket, take a pan. Now you got to be careful here because the material here is potentially your concentrate. It's called concentrate. It's your concentrated gold collection. Take water, pour it in the top, make sure you get all the material into the bucket. I use a painted bucket for this at this point. Now, that painted bucket does nothing but collect the material out of here. Now, all right. So you got your first load of concentrates in your bucket. This is where a finishing pan comes in handy. With a finishing pan, you can move and pan out your concentrates, I think, faster and more efficiently and more carefully than with your big 14-inch pan. This is great for when you're just test panning down the bank and you're looking for a spot to dig. But the finishing pan is when you've got classified material you want to work down. It's already of a 1/4 inch or smaller classification, and it's already believed to have lots of gold in it. Hopefully, right? Cross your fingers, lots of gold. So you're going to take a handful of it, throw it in your pan, and work that down. You can go on YouTube, and there's plenty of videos to show you how to finish or how to pan correctly. There's 2 sizes in pans. It gives you an option. Pans are cheap. I think this one was, this was a Garrett one, so it's a little bit more expensive. But you can get pans these size, $6 and up. You can get a pan like this, 14 to 20 bucks. Actually, 10 to 20 bucks, depending on if it has these riffles, who makes it, if it's a name brand, whatever. So I hope that pretty much covers it. Something else that you probably want to keep with you, a rare earth magnet. Rare earth specifically, because the black sand, and this is actually a container full of black sand, is highly attracted to the rare earth magnets. Let's see if I can show you this way. As you can see, you can just get tons and tons of this black sand. Now, black sand, most of the black sand, is hematite and other ferrous minerals. It's easier when you're panning to pull that black sand out. Now, save the black sand, but by keeping it in something like this, you can then go ahead and classify it with a finishing pan later, pan it out, and get the gold out of here. You're not going to get too much, but black sand's a pain in the butt to pan. So take your time, take it home, put it in a container like this, bring it home with you, and then work your black sand. You're not in a rush. That's why generally I like to bucket up all my concentrates, carry them back out the mountain, because this isn't going to be that much full. At the end of the day, depending on how much yardage of material you work through your sluice, you may only have half a bucket to a full bucket, maybe even less if you're only out there for a couple hours. And that's fine, because carrying it out is kind of a pain in the butt. But since you condense it down to just that gold pay dirt, right, that pay dirt, take it home, take your time with it, get every last speck of gold out of it. Because it's your time, you might as well make it work, right? Might as well get as much as you can out of it, including the small stuff. So that is my setup. I think, almost forgot. Water. Tons and tons of water. However you want to carry it. Camelback, whatever. Bring water. Bring some snacks, whatever. Because you're going to be out there for a while. You're going to start getting energetic, particularly if you find gold. If you find gold in your pan and you start working that sluice and you start shoveling, you're going to be working on adrenaline, and you're going to forget to drink water. And you're going to get a headache, and if you get a headache, stop and drink water. That's the first sign, well, one of the major signs you're getting dehydrated. Okay, hope this helps. Leave any comments or questions, and I think when I get some time, I'm going to do a second part to Mother Nature's welfare system to talk about kind of the past and how I think it might come around, and we may see more of it, more mining and prospecting in the future. Really interesting story if you look up the gold rush and what it was to a lot of people in this country. All right, give me a thumbs up if you like this and hit the subscribe. All right, thanks guys. Bye.